Hey everyone, and welcome back to another video. This is part of the NFL TV schedule and matches I do every week, where I talk about the announcers teased on Tuesday, and then Wednesday I do the maps, and then throughout the week I do updates. And here's one update here on the announcers. It is for the Fox early window, and it involves the feature national game, Dallas at Carolina, and Washington at New Orleans. So Washington at New Orleans, is probably considered the best game in the Fox early window because it involves two teams that are in playoff contention. Washington is 8-5; they are in the last wildcard spot, while New Orleans is 2 games back of Tampa Bay in their division. Tampa Bay is 7-6, while New Orleans is 5-8. So they could possibly cut the deficit down to a game. We're at 6-8, cut down to 1 if they were to win. Dallas at Carolina, it's the feature game because Dallas is like America's team, and they're trying to play on the fact that they hope that Dallas could bring them a good amount of viewership, regardless of how bad they are. Maybe it'll pay off, but who knows? But either way, Joe Davis and Greg Olsen were calling the best game of the day for the Fox early window, which is usually what they do. Joe Davis and Greg Olsen do. They were calling Washington and New Orleans. However, it was not the featured game, and Kenny Albert and Jonathan Vilma were on the call for Dallas at Carolina. However, that has been changed now, and they decided to put Joe Davis and Greg Olsen on the featured game, which is Dallas at Carolina. And then Kenny Albert and Jonathan Vilma are switching from Dallas at Carolina to Washington at New Orleans. Usually that doesn't, usually like most of the country, sometimes you'll see like the non-feature announcers, occasionally for like CBS and Fox, not be like the national game. Like, I'm not talking like the single windows, it does happen on the single window where you might not have like for Fox, Joe Davis, Greg Olsen, or Kim Burkhardt, somebody isn't the featured national announcers on the one, on the feature announcers, 2 feature announcers on the doubleheader window, or not. But I don't know if I've seen that on a single window before, where you've had like one featured game. No, it's not the feature announce crews, the main announce crew. But then it's kind of like a secondary 50-50 thing. Or either or could be the featured game. So, especially like last week's game, that was like a 50-50 thing. And then I've seen for CBS, where CBS has had non-feature announcers on like a single window, I believe. They had it was Andrew Gillen, Tiki Barber, and then it was Matt Ryan last year. I believe it was like Tampa Bay and Green Bay, I want to say, which ended up being, which was a close game for playoff standings. So, but they have done that before. Like these networks have, but never often do they deviate from that. From the feature announcers on them. In the early window, your second on screen, in the doubleheader window, and then they deviate from the feature announcers. number one non-screw in the late window. Typically, they don't deviate from that, but they did for a little bit, and then they went back on that. And they're like, the feature announcers are going to be on the featured game, even though it might not be the best game of the day. We just want the feature announcers on their game. And yeah, Greg Olsen. And or could be something where Greg Olsen's got a chance to call it Carolina Panthers game. And Jonathan Vilma's getting a chance to call New Orleans Saints game. So maybe they want to switch, so they could have a chance to call their former team's game. Especially being at home on their former team's game. In the teams they used to play for. It does mean a little something too. So, could be part of that too.